After about a 3-year hiatus, Stranger Things is back, so here are my thoughts on Volume 1. What's up, you guys? It's Jonathan Carter, the movie critic that watches bad movies so you don't have to, and today we are talking about Stranger Things 5 Volume 1. For those of you that don't know, Stranger Things 5 aired yesterday. I'm sure you know that if you are watching this video. It was just the first part of the fifth and final season of Stranger Things. It was 4 episodes totaling about 4.5 hours of runtime, and then on Christmas we'll get 3 more episodes, and then on New Year's Eve we'll get the last one final episode for Stranger Things ever, and it will have a small release in theaters as well. That episode will. Before we get into this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify for podcast versions of reviews. And then also let me know your thoughts on Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 in the comments, and just overall, if you're a huge Stranger Things fan, what you think of where the series is as a whole, what your favorite season is. Right before we get into this will be a spoiler review, so you have been warned. Also, for Black Friday and Cyber Monday over on my merch shop, I am doing deals there on the site. I also have a couple of new designs that just went live up there. The link to that website is in my bio. Thank you guys so much. With that being said, without further ado, let's jump into the review.
One last time.
Right off the bat, Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 is an incredibly strong story of Stranger Things. For me, my favorite season of Stranger Things is Season 1. I do have this theory that Stranger Things wasn't supposed to be more than just one season of a show, and it became so incredibly popular in the pop culture. It just became a whole moment that Netflix kind of strong-armed the Duffer Brothers into making more seasons of the show. And ever since Season 1, jumping off of that, each season has really faltered for me, and Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 is good because it has our main core cast front and center in these episodes. I have always said, and I think everybody can agree with this, the strongest part about Stranger Things are the characters, are the camaraderie, the natural relationships between everybody, and they are front and center here in Volume 1 of Season 5. It really harkens back to the first season where we get everybody like waking up at the Wheeler house. You see that instead of like where Season 4, everybody was apart in, different states or even different continents with Hopper out in Russia, everybody is back in Hawkins, and we finally, for the final season, the writers were smart enough. They knew what everybody wanted. We want to see everybody together in the same central place again. Following up on an incredibly interesting cliffhanger from Season 4, Season 5 immediately from the jump kicks into gear, and what is so great about this season so far, Volume 1, is that it naturally progresses the plot forward while simultaneously giving us these character moments that we want so much and that we love so much about these characters in Hawkins. We also get new elements of some of these characters who have never spoken before get time together, and a big standout here, if you have seen Volume 1, is Robin and Will. Robin kind of becomes a mentor to Will in Volume 1 in these first 4 episodes, and it really creates, among a cast that we have known for 10 years, it creates this new identity and new layer to this cast that we have grown to love and only kind of known in one way. And this season very nicely takes people that have never really conversed together and bring them together, and the biggest standout there is Robin and Will. I also love where the story takes us, and that Vecna has disappeared, and the gang is what they're doing crawls, where they are going into the Upside Down, and they are just having Hopper kind of move section by section, zone by zone, trying to find where Vecna is. So it creates this really interesting premise where you have our core group here finally together again, and they are working together for one central premise, and that is to find Vecna and kill him. And that is the mystery here at the beginning of Volume 1. And really just throughout the whole run of Volume 1. However, what starts as a really strong season with the first episode kind of dives a little bit, and it brings in Season 5 has, at Volume 1 at least, has the best, core identities of Stranger Things at, on full display here, but it also has its weaker tendencies. And by that I mean a lot what was happening kind of in Season 3. Not so bad here in Volume 1 of Season 5, but essentially, I don't feel like the writers, the Duffer Brothers, can help themselves by going so far by adding new characters into this already very expansive cast, and also creating these storylines that are convoluted for almost no reason. So, in this review, I kind of told you guys what's here at the premise of Season 5. The team trying to scour through the Upside Down and figure out where Vecna is. Obviously, 4.5 hours, that plot is going to change and evolve, and most of it happens naturally, organically, and you can kind of follow along. But some of it, there's so many other side moments here and plots that branch off that it threatens to kind of derail the entire season. And I don't know, that really kicked in, I think, for me in Season 3, if I think back with the show. I don't know why the writers are doing this to themselves when they could just have one more little bit focused, streamlined narrative taking us into this final season of Stranger Things. So instead of, as this volume goes on, instead of focusing on our core group in this final season, we are adding new characters for some reason and fleshing out, spotlighting other ones that we've only known as small characters. And the biggest example of that is Holly Wheeler, Mike and Nancy's youngest sister. She gets a lot of screen time in Volume 1, and while I do think it is very closely connected with Vecna, her storyline is, and while I do think that that's pushing Vecna's story forward, we're getting another layer to Henry, it almost it could have happened, I think, to somebody else that maybe we know, so that we're not taking time away from these characters that we care about and have grown to love over 10 years, but instead making a storyline front and center on somebody that we only met this season. So we meet, well, as an adult at least, or as an older kid, because she was so much younger in the other seasons. So we re-meet Holly in episode 1, and then episode 2 is fully about her, and it's kind of wait. I want to see our main characters here and not add this new character when it's the final season of the show. With that though, Holly's storyline does, like I said, connect with Vecna, more so Henry, the identity of Vecna, the not the monster, but the person, and also Max, which was just such a big hanging plot thread from cliffhanger from Season 4 that I was very interested in figuring out what was going on there as we jumped into Season 5. So I'm really glad that they were right to the cut in Volume 1 to bring her back. And truly the only other negative about this volume is a lot of the way, a lot of Stranger Things has been about solving mysteries. The first season is just such a big mystery of what exactly is going on in Hawkins, and then the Upside Down and all of that. And then that mystery just got more and more, it just became more and more full as the series went on, adding these different elements and layers to it, plot threads. Season 5, in a way that our characters kind of solve and piece together this main mystery here, almost feels a little too convenient, where these characters will just quickly make connections that you're almost okay, hold on, pause, how exactly did we connect all of this together, when I know that they've been doing this for a very long time, and they're smart, and they're well equipped with the Upside Down and Vecna and everything like that, but this information that they're getting in this season is new to them, and they are so fast. Every single character is so fast to connect and solve each mystery, and it's kind of we need to maybe rewrite this or slow down for a second. It just feels a little too convenient, and it took me out of the show just a couple of times. But it is by no means bad. I'm still a very big fan of Stranger Things 5 Volume 1, and I think it is, like I said, the strongest elements of Stranger Things on display here, while also carrying some of its weaker elements that the show picked up as its seasons went on. So, wrapping this up with the verdict, Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 is a very strong start to this 5th and final season of Stranger Things. It has all of the characters you love in it. You will get those amazing moments that you just want to watch, that you go into Stranger Things wanting to see. You also get great elements of horror, mystery elements, and the plot naturally progresses forward in a way that doesn't keep you like hanging and wondering what is going to happen next. Like, it naturally moves in a very satisfying way, while also, like I said, giving us amazing character moments. There are the drawbacks. The cast is very expansive. We're also focusing on new people that we don't really care about or want to watch in this final season. I wish we could have just tightened up the cast a little bit and then just kept them front and center for this main and final mystery of Stranger Things. So, all that being said, I'm going to give Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 an 8 out of 10. I really did enjoy it. My hype for the show is back. I'm excited to see where Volume 2 goes, and then I'm excited to see if they can stick the landing and wrap this entire thing up. With that being said, let me know your thoughts on Volume 1 in the comments. Let me know what you think about my review. Please be sure to like and subscribe, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. And just so you know, I am doing a merch drop, Black Friday thing, Cyber Monday on my merch shop. My link to the website is in my bio. Go check it out, you guys. Thank you all so much. And as always, I will see you guys on the